you need help with a transaction?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, guys. Andrew here. We are actually in Belvidere, Illinois. And we're here with Due Process today. We are at the post office outside here in Belvidere. And we are actually down this direction because a couple of weeks ago, we saw a video that caused us a little bit of what you might consider to be concern. And that was related to an auditor going into this post office. And the police were called. And the police didn't even give him a chance to speak. And we'll actually be linking that video down below. I didn't get the information all on top of my head here. But we came down here specifically to visit this post office because we want to make sure that they do honor and respect our rights to be able to take photographs and videos in the publicly accessible areas of these public buildings. You can see there's a fire department right on over there. And it's a beautiful day, actually. Out here it's about 80 degrees. And it's 11:30 in the morning, if I am not mistaken. So we're going to go across the street here. It's giving you a good view of the area and what's going on here. We'll kind of share our experience today. Now, that gentleman that was there the other day, he had his rights completely and totally trampled on. So we are going to see if they, of course, have stopped that practice here today. To be honest with you guys, I am a little bit nervous, as I think anybody might be if you watch that video. They did take him out with without no prejudice at all, just in, gloves on, full force, right out the door and right into cuffs. So we will see if, of course, they did get a little bit of a lesson as it is related to, you know, civilian citizens and our First Amendment rights to be able to take photos, videographs of publicly accessible areas in these buildings, and that we are not violating the law. We are out here with Mrs. Due Process. She's looking official today with carrying a clipboard. We basically have poster 7. We have the DHS memo that was released in 2010, specifically talking about what it is that we are doing here today. And we also have the unredacted version of that. From 2010. It's actually unredacted. So I believe that's what it is. I don't really know the dates on those. But we have all of that information with us, as well as the policies and procedures of the police department, how they're supposed to handle these situations when they do come out. So we'll be here for just a few minutes. We'll be doing some public video here of the area, and see if they, of course, have stopped the practice of doing those things with individuals like us out here in the auditing world. I'm brand new to this, obviously. I've only been auditing here for about 2 weeks. And we took a road trip to go here down into Illinois. We're going to be cruising across, like we said before, into the Dakotas, both South Dakota and North Dakota. We're going to go over to Mount Rushmore and the Crazy Horse Memorials there. We'll be stopping in different jurisdictions as we go. We are definitely going to be getting out of Illinois as fast as possible, because the whole time that we have been here, we have been getting nothing but taxed with toll roads and all of the stuff that goes along with that. So we've probably spent about $200 so far in taxes as we have been here for less than 24 hours. That's with the hotel stay, the toll roads, and the fuel tax that we paid since we have arrived in this area in Belvidere. So, this is Belvidere, Illinois, and we're just going to give you guys a visit. Here you can see, I don't know a lot about the area, but you can see there is a one-way street, mini street here inside the parking lot, where you have the ability to get your mail collected as you may need. Right here in these receptacles. And of course, here are the collection times on those. If you guys are in the area, you can see that they do collect Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. and Saturday at 4 o'clock p.m. And make sure you get your mail here before that. And of course, it will be picked up for the day. And if you guys like what we're doing here, please do share our channel. We have 430 subscribers roughly at the time of this video. And in order for us to get those pesky little ads off of the videos, we have to get to 1,000 subscribers so that we can turn those off and make these videos a little bit more enjoyable for everybody, because you don't have to wait for the skip button. And then of course, that helps us open up the channel a little bit more. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers for that. So the best thing you can do to help us out, if you like what we're doing, how we do it, is to contact, or just go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and share it. And hopefully we can get to that 1,000 subscribers here by the end of the month. We will have a lot of content up by that time, so it'll definitely be worth the viewing. If you guys are having a little bit of a kind of a anomaly in my audio, it's a little bit windy out here today, and I have added a few things to the camera, to the GoPro Hero 9 that we are using to record these videos. And it does have the directional microphone on it now. It looks a lot more like a camera than it used to. It used to look like a small stick with a small box on it. So you can see right here is a good view of the parking lot.
Pretty big.
It is a pretty big parking lot, as Mrs. Due Process is sharing. And lots of places to park. So if you guys are out there, how are you doing?
It's a little hot today, huh?
If you guys are coming to this post office, you'll be able to have plenty of parking space. Looks like they do come and go rather rapidly. You can see up here we have good old Glory waving in the breeze, and POWMIA flag flying up there as well. Shout out to Jason from Amagansett Press for bringing that into my language when it comes to the auditing scene. Here is the front door of the building. You can see right there that we have pretty interesting architecture here of the building, just like that. Needs a little bit of paint touch-ups over there, no big deal, I guess. Actually, it's a pretty big facility with respect to the post office itself. You can see the PO boxes and whatnot inside the building there. So we're going to go around the building to all the publicly accessible areas, and we're going to get some footage of that. And we will then, of course, go into the building and see if we are met with the same discontent as our friend from the other channel there that we'll be linking in the description of the video. And if not, we'll be picking up our postage stamp. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the police department here in Belvidere, and we are going to get a public records request form. And we're going to request the information from that incident that took place about a month ago, and see what we can share with you guys, because I am genuinely interested to find out the outcome of what happened with that particular gentleman. And that's actually the reason why we drove 2 states away from where we normally are, kind of off the cuff, to come down here and give them a second visit with a little bit different of a style. So hopefully they have, of course, learned their lesson on how the video and photographs work in the publicly accessible areas of the buildings and whatnot there. So you can see we have reached the end of the sidewalk. Grass is a little bit dead compared to what it should be. You know, obviously we want to make sure we save the planet, so water is probably a little bit preserved or conserved here as we speak. So you can see there's a fenced off area. We'll go around the other side, see if we can get more of a view of what they got behind the fence. Fences to me mean restricted area, so just in case anybody's curious, we're not going to scale any fences, anything like that. We're not here for any nefarious intent. We do not want to look for lawsuits. That's not why we're actually out here doing this. We're out here doing this because this is a very simple way to be able to exercise basic rights that we are afforded by the Constitution of the United States, and see if people honor and respect that. We'll be as respectful as possible of other people. If they don't want to be on camera and whatnot, we'll do our best to point away. We're not going to blot anybody out, because like we know, there is no expectation of privacy when you are in the public sphere. So it's important that people are aware of that they don't get too concerned with individuals who are doing any filming, recording, or exercising any of their rights as it's afforded to them by the Constitution. That includes your right to remain silent, not answer questions. It doesn't mean you're guilty, all of those kinds of things. And if you guys are concerned or anything like that about being stopped by the police officers and wanting to have some affordable and reliable legal protections, there's a link in the description that you can take a look at. There's some affordable legal plans there that will give you the ability to contact an attorney in the event that you are either questioned and or detained by police officers. You do not have to speak to them contrary to what they might believe or want you to believe. You do have the right to remain silent and not speak to law enforcement unless you have an attorney present, and that opportunity is right below in the description. That helps out the channel a lot because obviously, like we said, we just kind of drove down here to Illinois on a whim to see if this post office has updated their policy when it comes to individuals who are recording the building. So it helps the channel grow, it helps you protect your rights, and all of that wonderful stuff helps keep us on the road because, of course, that is a legal membership that we will earn a commission on for as long as you have that, and that helps us kind of fund the channel. That's kind of the idea behind that, to be able to provide everybody with the appropriate legal protections that they are afforded, and be able to do that at an affordable price for everybody in the audience. So we appreciate you guys for coming around, subscribing. Obviously, the best way that you can help us out is get more eyeballs on our videos by sharing, liking, and commenting on the video. Doing that gains the YouTube algorithm, and YouTube loves it, so they will show our videos to more and more people, which will help get the message out that what we are doing is perfectly acceptable. And we're not doing this just for fun. We're doing this because we have seen a problem here in the United States specifically with our fundamental and constitutional rights. The First Amendment protects a few things, not just your right to free expression, which is photography and all those kinds of things under that umbrella. It also provides you with the opportunity of being able to redress your government with any concerns that you might have. So anything that you see here today, or in any of our videos, or in any auditor's video, we would encourage you to redress your government about that particular topic. It also gives you the absolute right to religion. You get to pray and go to church, anything that you choose as it relates to your spiritual beliefs afforded to you by the U.S. Constitution in the First Amendment. You also have additional rights in there besides all of that. You have the right to assemble, right? So you have the right to have individuals that come together and protest peacefully, which is very, very important that you do it peacefully. Here's one of the signs by the gate, as you can see. Possession of firearms and another dangerous weapon on postal property is prohibited by federal law. So I want to make sure that you aren't exercising your Second Amendment, that 2A out there in post office land. But ultimately, that is for very good reason. It's because we want to be able to protect the facilities as they are in play. So here is restricted postal property. Vehicles and their contents in non-public areas on postal property are subject to inspection. So if you do park anywhere on the property, you are subject to inspection on the condition that you park behind this gate. If you park in the parking lot in the front of the building, that does not say that, because notice it says in non-public areas. The letter of the law is very important. There's a memorial right over here. We're not going to visit that right now due to time, but we'll do it in a video right after we're done here at the post office and give you guys some footage of that, because that looks pretty interesting over there. So we'll go ahead and go around to the front of the building once again, and we'll get a little bit more footage from the front, and then we'll go and do a tour of the inside of the building and go ahead and get our stamp. And if everything goes according to the way it should, we should not have any issues at all, and we'll be on our way over to the police department with a short visit to the memorial. It's right directly behind us at this point in time, and get that Freedom of Information request form, that public records request form that we get in the police stations and police offices that we visit in our audit videos. So we appreciate all of the new subscribers. You guys have been incredible. Even those of you who have given us feedback one way or another, whether positive or negative, they both help us as it relates to be able to make these videos better for you. And one of the most common things that we have been shared is make the video shorter. So we're going to do our best here today to make these videos as short as possible to respect that request from those of you who are, of course, watching our videos. And so we don't want to spend too much time getting footage of just unnecessary things. You'll notice that if our videos cut too long, what we'll do is we'll actually speed up those areas to kind of make it a little bit more bearable for those of you who are out there watching our videos. Because as you know, when you are watching the videos, that does help with YouTube's algorithms. Your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and your shares all help us with the YouTube algorithm getting people to be able to see our videos, which we fully appreciate. Doesn't cost you a dime to do that. You can see there's some activity over there. Looks like a postal worker is coming back with some stuff. This gentleman here is kind of wandering around outside of the building. I'm not sure who he is or what he's doing, but we'll see in a moment. Maybe he's coming to talk to us. We'll go right up here to the front of the building, and from there we will give you some footage of some customers coming and going. See the flow over there? That's how you go to the outbound mailboxes. And then here you can see a person coming and going to those outbound mailboxes as well. It's very simple. Seems like a pretty efficient process. And then here we are, in front of the building. Just make sure that we stay out of the way. We don't want to impede business. We want to encourage business. Because I don't know if you guys are aware of this as well. The post office is experiencing budget issues. So if you guys use the post office or send mail, I would encourage you to do that. Specifically if you're shipping locally here in the United States. I know the post office has some pretty good delivery times, very good tracking. And we'll show you where that stuff is inside the building. Just in case you guys are using FedEx and UPS, you might want to consider using your local post offices in order to do that, so that we can get these businesses, these buildings, see a little bit more up to par. As you can see, there's some stuff missing, some paint, those kinds of things, just basic maintenance. So here you can see some of the signage on the front of the building. Belvidere Post Office, Belvidere, Illinois. You can see right here there is a mask, no more than 10 people at a time. And of course, you want to make sure that you are at least 6 feet away from others. So, and here you can see that these are the services that are available at this particular facility. A little bit more than some of the smaller jurisdictions that we've been in. You have stamps, you have mailing, you have shipping, greeting cards, P.O. box, passport, self-service 24 hours a day. That's the new box on this one. That's not on the other ones. And of course supplies. And then there's their mask signage again. These of course are not required. It says required here. This was supposed to have been taken down 5/31 of 2020. So they are a little bit behind on this particular poster itself. So make sure there's nobody coming back. And as we go, one more sign right over here. You can see this facility is protected by a security alarm system. And of course, any crime committed on the premises is a federal offense and is investigated by the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, which is really good for our purpose here today, because obviously they will need to call the police if they are not okay with us being here. And if they do that, then of course those police actually have no jurisdiction. They have to be investigated by the proper people. See, this gentleman right here is the one that came out of the back of the building. So he looks like he is, of course, employed by the Postal Service. Just enjoying the view. So we'll let these people go into the building. And then we will go in, do a quick walkthrough of the building. And from there, we'll take our stand. How you doing, Mr. Due Process? Looking official with the law in her hand. She basically has police conduct forms in there, what they're supposed to be doing. They has the like we said, the DHS memo in its most recent unredacted form. It's not completely unredacted, but there's a lot of it in there. It specifically talks about exactly what it is that we are doing, and then it also has a couple of other things in there as well as it relates to that. So he's doing something on his phone over there. We'll let that last individual that went into the building finish her business, and then we will go ahead and go inside the building just to make sure that they are going to honor and respect our rights. It is a little bit warm, so I'm going to be taking a drink of water, so if you see my video popping up and down, I'm opening a bottle of water.
My phone got too hot, so it shut down.
Your phone shut down? Well, she was streaming to make sure that none of it could be erased on the condition that they do what they did last time to that other gentleman. And that's unfortunate that her phone overheated. It is a little bit warm out there. So like I said, as soon as the lady from this vehicle right here finishes up her business in the post office, we will go in and do a little tour of the building. We got Mr. Ninja over there. He's trying to play like he's playing it smooth, but you know, we have cameras, we look everywhere, we record everywhere, we notice everything that you can see. So there's our concerned individual, as you can see, pretending like you don't see me. You know. They're fun. So this might actually turn into an eventful video once we do, of course, go inside the building. That is when the last gentleman had his issue with the individuals behind the counter there. We will approach it slightly different. We're going to do a tour of the building like we normally do. Nothing really to talk about in there. It's just a pretty typical post office. And then we'll inspect the signs, make sure that they are up to date, and grab our stamp and be on our way if all things go as smoothly as they should. How are you doing today?
What you do, don't film me.
I couldn't hear you. You're facing the other way. I'm sorry.
I said whatever you do, don't film me.
I have no idea what he's saying. He's talking, but he's not talking to me, so I have no idea what he's actually saying. If I were to guess, it was whatever you do, don't film me. So we will be very intentional in filming him, because he is, of course, an employee of the post office. And it is warm. I will give it that. Not only warm, but humid. So I am sweating as we are standing out here today. It might make it very difficult for the police officers who threw that gentleman on the ground to actually do that with me. I might be a little slippery. There's our gentleman walking around the building. So I'm going to come on over here, stand a little bit in the shade while we wait for our patron to come out of the building. And then what we will do is we will go inside, take a look at the signage, show you where all the materials are so that you can, of course, support your local post offices, help them stay in business without needing any federal funding, because you know how that works. If the post office comes up short on funding, they of course will need to get federal funding so that they can stay open. It's happened in the past, it will happen again. So if we support them, they won't need that. They'll also be able to afford adequate training, higher salaries. All of those things are very, very important for happy employees. And what we notice when we are talking to people in the post offices, specifically in the ones that we've been to, individuals are very, very happy. And that is kind of important to note, that that's an important characteristic of their jobs and all those kinds of things. So I do believe the numbers are reducing in the building. So we'll go ahead and go inside the building, because I want to make sure we do respect their sign, and with the exception of the ones that are not lawful. So here you can see the foyer of the building. You can protect yourself and others. And this is recommended. And as you can see right there, it says immediately. So the recommended sign is the one that says put up immediately. The one on the outside of the building is this one right here. And this one says required. This one does say take down on 5/31 of 2020. So they're about a year behind on that one. Just kind of reprinting, repurposing. There's the holidays that they're in observance of. And then activity in this lobby may be monitored or recorded for operational or security purposes. So you can see right there. signed 151 on July 2007. Very important because that lets everybody know that recording might take place. Nothing else on the side, so we'll go ahead and enter in the appropriate door. And what we'll do is go around the side of the building over here. And you can see right there is a passport right there. And you can see all of the lobby.
Like you told her about the church and how the church handled your situation.
And here's some of the P.O. boxes.
Because I'm doing something for you, but it's not.
Here's where you can fill out some of your stuff. Some recycling can go in there. Like I said, it's not very eventful. Nothing really cool happens over here, it doesn't look like. So what we'll do, here's some rent-a boxes. So if you guys have some larger packages that might be coming in, here's some parcel lockers that you could potentially use. Not sure how that actually works with relation to the post office, but there's some smaller versions of it. And then of course your P.O. boxes, which are really important if you guys don't want anybody to know where your physical address is. And you're doing any type of internet marketing, you do have to have an address for your business on the bottom there. So looks like there's 1, 2, 3 people in line, so we'll let them finish up with their business, and then what we'll do is we'll go up and get in line for our stamp. And a couple more people coming in.
So 2 minutes, and then for the next half hour, it's all about him.
Here is
Thank you,
equal employment opportunity for the post office. I guess we do have to look and see if they have the appropriate. How you doing? Hello. Right here you can see that box mail is available by pickup by noon. So if you guys are getting those giant boxes on the back, right there's their rates. Self-service. This is a really good tool here for those of you who want to come in and go out. Very good. Mercury alert. Watch out for that stuff. Makes me insane. And then right here, no packages over 10 pounds. But if you have them under 10 pounds, you can drop them right here in the box. No letters. It's very important. And then we have some attention mail collection policy.
I have a friend that runs it.
Just went on to put deposit into the box. Letters. So this is what I was talking about outside, guys. This is where you can get those overnight packages. So if you guys are using FedEx or UPS, you have the opportunity of getting that from your local post offices. Oops, sorry. And that'll allow you the opportunity of sending those out from here to help support your post office. It's very important. And then here you can see the postal regulations. There's our good old poster 7. This one's a little bit aged, 1995. Let's see here. We need to update that. Definitely do. Let's see. Yeah, this is out of dated, but there is our paragraph for photographs and news purposes. Of course, the standard, you're not allowed to have weapons on postal property or federal property for that matter. And then any rewards for all right, so took us just a moment. The camera heated up too much and shut down on its own. But we got a couple more signs over here to share with you guys. You can see right there, this building was actually dedicated to public service in 1997 by good old Bill Clinton. Marvin is the Postmaster General at the time. And then here's your lobby hours. You can see it's open 24 hours a day in the lobby. And then, of course, your window hours, which is really good stuff. Shipping stuff, like we said, support your local post office. It's very important. If you're using FedEx or anything like that, you can get some of the same services here and potentially somewhat cheaper, specifically if it fits its ships. So take that into consideration. Shipping supplies, you can get all kinds of materials over here. Neatly organized, I must say. Conference room, whatever that would be for here. All right. Let's get ourselves into line.
you need help with a transaction?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll be a moment.
Can I help you? Absolutely. May I have one of your best stamps, please?
And which one would you like?
What do you got that's kind of a
Everything
local
in
thing?
front of you.
Everything in front of me. Ooh. Let's, are these all the 55-cent ones?
Here.
Very
Thank
interesting.
yous, no. Hearts, purple hearts.
Let's go with the love one. I've never seen that one yet.
Do you need stamps or anything else today while you're here? She didn't tell you. Okay.
55.
We'll just do what Mommy did.
55 cents.
So it's going to be $26.35 on there for the overnight. Oop. Thank you, dear.
There you are, sir.
Out of $1. Need a receipt?
Yes, please.
Okay, one moment. I'll get your change your receipt. And then you can help them on track. Just
And
make
you have
sure
a-
Outstanding, sir. Jim, you have been
Okay.
excellent. We appreciate you.
All right, take care.
All right, so all kinds of interesting things here. Very nice. So we will exit the building. And there you have it, guys. That's how it goes. That is actually exactly what it is that we were hoping for. I do know that there were individuals who were kind of stalking us a little bit as we went around the building. That gentleman didn't want to be recorded as per what he was saying. I was trying to get him to engage, but he just wanted to speak the opposite direction, which isn't really a good form of communication. There were some customers inside that didn't want to be filmed, but the postal employees, I don't know if you guys were able to hear that, they actually said that we are within our rights to be able to do that. So they have, of course, probably had a meeting or two since that last incident took place. And you can see right here that we got our stamp. This is a forever stamp, and it is a love stamp, which is actually really, really good there. Great stuff. It appears that they have, of course, been educated on the situation. So hopefully when we share the information about that other gentleman, we'll do a little follow-up. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the police department here in just a moment to kind of share with you some of the information we could pull from that public records request form about that incident and go forward from there. So what we want to do is come on over here to Belvidere just to see if any training had taken place, anything had taken, a change had been made. We don't really know for sure. We probably could have gotten a little bit into that and asked for the postmaster and brought up that particular incident and asked any questions about it that we wanted to. But like we said, the video is getting a little bit long, so I wanted to make sure that we did give you guys what we came here to give you. This one passed, and no crazy stuff took place. Good to go. And then what we're gonna do is go take a couple videos of that memorial down on the other side of the building here, and then we'll go over to the police station and get that public records request form to see if the police department has had any additional training on the matter of public photography and the rights of the citizens. So until then, take care, guys. We appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share the video, throw your comments down below, tell us what you think, and make sure to watch that other video so you know what prompted us to come out here. Have a great day.